to be discerning and to be intelligent enough to take the message and not the way the messenger is dressed. We must proceed. I will play this same video again, please, and I want it to be posted. This same video about what Britain did to most of you, if not all of you. If not all of you. Listen to it very carefully, and then we will be able to analyze it. Because this is where every problem that I have with the brain of a black man is encapsulated in this very video. Everything, every problem that I have with our inability to reason, I keep harping on it all the time. Forget about the semantics, forget about the romancing of the words. We are not here to romance words for you. We are here to let you understand the stupidity you're in and to get yourself out of it. Listen to this. Maybe then some of you will appreciate the degree of the mess you're in. Listen.
Thank you. May I say how delighted we are to be on Passion?
The British man with a wife.
To an African television station.
Yes.
Decades. This is something we have looked forward to for such a long time. And we are so happy to be here.
Thank you. Mr. Aaron Smith was a young, bright, and principled Oxford University graduate.
Oxford
was recruited by the colonial of
the same Oxford that most of them went to. I went to Oxford, I went to Cambridge, I went to Princeton, I went to Harvard. I want you to see, to understand, to appreciate how somebody who is properly educated, I want you to understand their level of consciousness. I want you to understand how people who are genuinely educated, how they speak, how they behave, and the type of conscience that they possess. Unlike most of them in Africa, unlike most of the baboons that claim they went to Harvard, we went to Cambridge, we went to Yale, we went to Princeton. Garbage. All rubbish. This is a white man with a wife. I want you to listen to what this man has to say. Compare it with the level of cowardice and iniquitousness that you have in the zoo from those that went to the same school that this white man went to. Understand what he's trying to say. I want all of you who are concerned about the way we deliver this message to see where your idiocy comes from, to direct you to where your anger should be channeled to. Not messing about and faffing about on social media. We want you to reason. And until you reason, we will continue to preach this gospel the way we do. Any day you rise up in the morning and you're concerned about the death of your people in Enugu, then I will respect you. Any day you rise up and you're concerned about what the Mietiala is doing in Ebonyi State, then I will be respectful of your person. Any day you wake up in the morning, you understand that Delta State is gone, then I will respect you. Any day you get up in the morning and you understand that Willie Obiano is an agent of Janjaweed, that day I will respect you. Any day you wake up in the morning, you understand that there is something wrong for somebody to come from a fourth position to be declared the winner by a Fulani Supreme Court, that day I will respect you. Any day you rise up in the morning and get convulsed by what is happening at Lower Banta and now at Okwa, where people come from Mauritania, from Mali, from all across the Sahel to Abia State to live in the forest, that day I will have regard for you. Any day you wake up in the morning and you understand the desperation of the Janjaweed jihadists to take over River State, that day I will respect you. Any day you wake up in the morning and understand that those of them from Nigeria, the Zoo people that claim they're your friends, whereas all they're trying to do is to put you down, to subjugate you, to enslave you, that day I will respect you. But until that happens, you are a baboon and you are a monkey, you are nothing, you're a pseudo-intellectual, you know nothing, your brains are empty. And that is why you have no electricity, you have no running water, you have no good schools, you have no hospitals. That is why you find solace in hiding under what? The style of the delivery and not the substance itself. That is why you are beneath a human being, and that is why I would rather befriend or be close to a chimpanzee than to be close to any of you liars, deceivers, and cheats. All of you, hypocrites. This man went to Harvard. Sorry, he went to Oxford. Many of them went to all these Ivy League, I call them Ivy League universities in Europe and in America. This is how a white man behaves. No matter what you say about what, I remember I told you before that even in Britain there are good people in Britain. I told you that many, many times that British people on average are conscientious, they are good people. Forget about their government. Listen to this man. This is, should I say, the fulcrum of what we're going to discuss this evening. Listen.
In their office and posted to Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
He took his final examination a year ahead of his class. He also married Mrs. Carol Smith,
mm-hmm.
whom he met while they were both at Oxford University.
Yes.
Together they went to Nigeria, where they had their 2 children. Mr. Carol Smith, you were featured in a program recently by BBC Radio 4, titled Document, and that was hosted by Mr. Mike Thompson. Yeah. You are alleged that the British government rigged the first and most important election in the history of Nigeria in 1959 in favor of the North. Am I correct? Yes.
Did you understand the question from the interviewer? The interviewer is a black man. Some of you have seen this clip. But in keeping with the brain of a black man, we don't delve into issues, we don't analyze it properly. No, we don't. This man is trying to let you understand the history of rigging in Nigeria. He wants you to understand who brought in rigging. I was watching a black brother in America today, an activist, with his assault weapon and his side pistol. Do you know what he said? A black American, he said in the main that black people are innocent and good people. That some white folks introduced evil to them. I want people to understand that had Britain not brought in rigging, Britain, had they not brought in rigging into the zoo, there would be no rigging today. I want all these pseudo-intellectuals, all these professional petition writers for hire. Any politician that we deal with, he will go and recruit some idiots, 4 or 5 of them to write in rubbish. I want to tell you, all you zoo animals in Nigeria, this is where you should be channeling your anger and your desperation to these people that caused you unbearable pain and suffering, not just for generations before you, but for your children and your children's children, so that you place your anger properly. That is the thing about black people, they don't reason very well. They don't know how to channel their anger. Somebody came from somewhere, took you away in chains, tied you up in chains, gave you their God, you accepted it. No problem. Somebody's coming and telling you the truth, and you're saying it's an insult. And you're saying that God, those people are worshiping, you will not worship it. But somebody came and took you away in chains. I mean, do you see how funny you look? Listen, please.
How long were you in Nigeria for? From 1955 to 1960.
Yes.
And we were based in Lagos. I was on the staff of the Department of Labour. I was largely occupied with employment problems, all the employment exchanges, and statistics, and international reports, and was kept pretty busy. I was also stationed in Lagos in charge of the capital and the port. I was the port labour officer as well. And I also devised a port labour scheme and later a social security scheme, which was one of the first in Africa, which guaranteed workers some income after they'd finished work. It was a provident scheme. As I say, it's called the National Provident Scheme, and I was very proud to have put that on the statute book.
This was the man who brought in pension into the zoo, the way you know pension. If you're a pensioner, if your dad or your mom works for the government and benefited from the pension scheme, this is the man responsible for introducing pension into Nigeria. So you must take what he's saying very seriously. That's why I said that the build up to it, I have seen people analyze this, but I don't think actually the people don't understand the gravity of this very interview. People don't know how deep it is, because encapsulated within what this man is saying or what he had said in the past lies all your problem. And the fact that you cannot see it is because you're a black person. You cannot see. Your brain is not fine-tuned enough to grasp very salient points when they say it. This is the man responsible for bringing in pension scheme into Nigeria. Interviewed by a black journalist. Let's continue.
I was going to ask you what your role is. You've mentioned three important. Is there any particular name given to your office while you were there?
I was a labour officer, a senior civil servant.
Okay.
I only intended to stay in Lagos initially.
Listen.
For 2 tours of duty. Although, because of this conflict with the elections.
Conflict with elections. Please, I want people to listen attentively, please. The only thing I'm doing in life is I just want black people to reason. Even for 1 second, only 1 second, 1 second only. Just reason for 1 second. Forget all your petty envy and jealousy and greed. We'll deal with that later. I just want you to listen and be truthful to yourselves for once, that you may learn what we have learned. That is why IPOB is undefeatable. You cannot. That is why no matter how much you yap your rubbish and write your garbage, if you go back to the house, your wife will ask you, Nani, have you heard what IPOB said today? I want you to pay attention. This very clip I'm playing, this video, is the most important video in the history of Nigeria. It is the most critical. This very video. That's why we must be patient. We will listen. It's about 24 minutes. We will listen to each and every word that comes out of this man's mouth. Very important. Listen, please.
There were difficulties. Actually, government wouldn't let me leave the civil service.
They didn't want him to leave.
They were determined that I should stay in the civil service.
They wanted to stay.
After my 2 tours. And I was offered very considerable incentives.
Like?
Including a knighthood.
Knighthood.
To stay and work for government. Primarily this was because I had access to state secrets. I learned, and the government...
He had access to state secrets. So to keep him quiet, they offered him knighthood. Listen, please. What are those secrets that this white man, that is an Oxford-educated white man, a top civil servant in Lagos during colonial days, the man who started the pension scheme in the zoo? Why did they offer him bribe of knighthood? Why? What is that thing he knows? Listen.
Governor General himself confirmed this to me, that the elections were rigged.
The elections were rigged?
The intention was that the North should rule Nigeria.
Are you listening? When Tony Blair came, where did he go to the North? Why is it, have you ever asked yourself this question? Why is it anytime there is money for anything, you always go to the North? World Bank, North. Gas pipeline, go to the North. Refinery, Kaduna to the north, everything to the north. Why? Because Britain wanted the north to rule. Britain wanted the north to rule. By north, I mean Janjaweed, the Fulani, because they are very stupid and useless and easy to control. They are the only people that are their way of life, their culture, everything, and absorbed everything Arabic to their name. That if we begin to reel out all the names of the Janjaweed or Mieti Allah in high political offices, it sounds as if you're in Saudi Arabia, calling out the ministers in Saudi Arabia. Britain understood that with their Al-Majri Rankade culture, that the Fulanis can be controlled. Why was it easier for Britain to control the Fulanis? Exactly the same reason the Janjaweed have today over the likes of Mohamed Ndioshin and Diama and the rest of the very greedy pack, I call them, the envious pack. Why? Because there is only one thing you need in life for you to become an agent of an oppressor. You must be an envious bastard. You must be an envious person. Do you know why Britain chose the Fulani? Because the Fulanis had a natural hatred for anybody who is educated from the south. For anybody who is a progressive. They didn't want it. There's something now, if you look at everybody that has fallen prey to the march of the Janjaweed to colonize and Islamize the South, all those with a chip on their shoulder, people who are very envious by nature, people who are driven by jealousy. I don't know if I'm making this point very clear. I don't know. Chineke, one of my parents. Listen carefully, please. It is just like your body. The only way a virus can attack your body is if your body's immune system, your defense system is very weak, either through stress or illness or whatever it is. If your defense mechanism is strong, your antibodies, your white blood cells are very strong, it is bring it on. Any virus that comes will be attacked. The same thing happens in real life. A fertile ground for betrayal must be built on envy, greed, and jealousy. With those three things in place, you are now a prime candidate to be converted, to subvert the will of your people, to sabotage them, and to become a frontline traitor. What the Fulanis were doing was treachery. Treachery not just against themselves, but the whole of Africa as a whole. And Britain was using them to accomplish this. But the idiots, because of their envious nature towards an Igbo man, towards the South, the entire South, they could not see that what they were doing was counterproductive. This is what I want black people to understand. Blacks don't understand this. They never reason this far. Because anytime you see a black person working against the interest of his people, forget about financial considerations. Of course, that plays a very big part if you're an Igbo man. Look at the underlying causes. It's always envy. I cannot be like them, so let me work against them. I cannot be as consistent as IPOB. I cannot be as unbribable as IPOB. I cannot be as gifted as IPOB. So the next best thing for me is I will hate them. And in their state of hate, born out of envy, anytime the Janjaweed comes from the north or from Abuja, a politician comes to them to say, oh, this thing they're doing, why don't you fight against them? You see them, they rise up immediately. And they start writing rubbish. Exactly. Britain used it on, I told you before, they used it on the Fulanis and it worked perfectly well. Till today. I keep asking people, where is Aburi? I don't know what is so. They say, we want to restructure. Obasanjo is saying we restructure. Tinubu will let us restructure. We must restructure to move forward. And I keep asking this question and nobody wants to answer. Where is the Aburi Accord? Where is it? One of the signatories is alive. You went to a conference, you agreed on something. Go on. Where is it? Where is that document? To save all this nonsensical garbage about restructuring, not restructuring. Where is Aburi? Being a typical slavish, moronic black man, of course, and the devil's incarnate that Go on is. Go on is busy. This is a typical black man, busy praying, saying he's praying to, of course, to Lucifer. He's busy praying. Whereas the document that could have solved all the problems is somewhere in his cabinet in his house. Why won't Go on bring it out? Because Go on and his people are envious of the industry and ingenuity of a Biafran man. The reason why Aburi was not implemented, I want people all around the world listening to understand. I'm speaking very calmly today. To understand the genesis of our problem. To understand that the way a white man reasons is different from how a black man reasons, and that is why we're in the mess we're in today. That's all, nothing more, nothing less. Because a black man does not see rivalry, a black man doesn't see banter, a black man doesn't see healthy competition. Where there should be competition, oh, let me try and be like him, let me try and be like her. They bring in envy. Let me hate them because I cannot do what they are doing. That's all. As soon as we understand this very simple problem, all of our problems are solved. They used Fulani because Fulani had one thing, then a hatred for the educated South. So Britain felt, people who are schooled in divide and rule, the best thing to do is to give power to illiterates, to cattle rearers. Let them start, so they will mess everybody up. So even the Britain that created the zoo, that is why I call Nigeria a racist construct. Britain that created the monster, the zoo, never had good intentions in the first place. Because if they did, there is no way that somebody preaching democracy, preaching good governance, preaching development and transparency will be till today actively involved in the rigging of election and in the subversion of the will of the people. Just tell me why they will do it. Why? If not out of, let us suppress them. You cannot, a virus cannot attack your body unless your immune system is weak. And what causes weak immune system is stress. Number one, stress. Number one, your immune system is down. Or maybe now 5G mass. And they say it's conspiracy theory, but go to South Africa, you see what is happening in South Africa? It is 5G mass. You will see it weakens your immune system so that when this deadly virus comes, you stand no chance. Go to South Africa. They're forced to launch 5G. Vodacom is on 5G, MTN is on 5G in South Africa, and they are falling like flies. We'll come to that later on. All I want is for black people to reason. If you don't get black people to reason or raise their level of consciousness to a particular level, you can never be free. We can never be free. No matter how hard we try, we can never be free. Because in the Western world, in Europe and in America, even in Japan, in all advanced economies, from kindergarten, from nursery school, they begin to teach them their rights. And after teaching them their rights, they'll tell them that don't allow anybody to trample on those rights, even if it means defending it with your blood. Do they teach us that? Of course not. Let's continue. Listen.
Even in 56, the northern leaders were very proud and were saying, if they couldn't run Nigeria, never mind elections. They might not join Nigeria. They might.
Janjaweed, Ahmadu Bello, Tafawa Balewa, the northern leaders, those preaching to you want Nigeria today. That's why I look at people and I wonder, you know history. Some of you pseudo-intellectuals on Facebook, you claim you're learned, you claim you understand history, you claim you're well-read. Have you not come across where it was explicitly stated that the North they will leave? It's called Araba, they want to go. They don't want to be part of Nigeria. It was Nnamdi Kanu that begged them to be part of one Nigeria. Are you not aware of it? Who is now claiming they are not aware that it was Nnamdi Kanu that allowed them? Who is not aware? must I come to your own to eat? Who are you to belittle me? The more you belittle black people, the more they love it. And we are telling you here on this platform, don't allow yourselves to be belittled. If you see what we are preaching as an insult, it means you're a fool, you're a complete idiot. You know nothing. People came from Arabia, Arabs. They put chain around your neck. When I preach it now, they say it is religious phobia. Idiots don't know anything. Because of your stupid sensibilities, you can. They came from Arabia to take us as slaves. They put 2 sticks around our neck. By the time we finished with that experience, we became Muslims. Europeans came with glittering chain, tied us around. Go and watch the Amistad. Go and watch. All of you should go and watch it. You will shed tears. By the time they finished with us, we became Christians. That is the truth. You can hide it however you like. You can massage it however you like. You can cry over it if you like. That is your business. But the truth of the matter is that typifies the brain of a black man. That is why we are not developing until we acquire a heightened level of reasoning and consciousness. We can't come out of this mess. What you're suffering today, we are fighting for Biafra. Britain made it so. Britain never wanted Biafra to emerge. Never. They don't want Biafra. Why? So that the black man can have industries and have schools and hospitals. They don't want that. They want to feel big. You know, that's big. Oh, how much aid did you give to them? How many aid workers do you have in Borno? How many aid workers do you have in the Chad region? They love it. We play God. You know, looking at sickly, emaciated African babies, taking care of them, feeding them from feeding bottle. They love it. Hey, they are God. But you are the problem.